This is the public face of the city centre at Christmas. Bright lights and bustling shops. But when the day's crowds leave and the nighttime temperatures drop, the streets are less inviting. Sleeping rough is something to avoid at all costs.
We've talked in meetings about getting the shakes.
Anthony and Peter stared that possibility in the face. Both former professionals. They'd be homeless if it wasn't for Greystones, a shelter in Ashton-under-Lyne which also treats men for alcoholism.
I had a flat, but I was sat in this flat basically drinking myself to death. I would have lost that flat. I was behind on I had a rent arrears and things like that. And I just had to get out of that flat.
I'd got no money. I couldn't pay the mortgage. I'd no job. I'd got no future.
Greystones runs education classes for its residents, many of whom used to hold down good jobs and careers.
People sometimes are one paycheck away from being made homeless. It doesn't help that they have substance issues as well. We find now that in Greystones there's a trend of people that have had work and have been made unemployed and are coming to us to seek help.
For 7 years, the number of people statistically counted as homeless had been falling, right up until this time last year when the trend went into reverse. Since then, as the economic downturn has continued, the number of homeless people has risen. The rise in homelessness is challenging local councils like Tameside. It offers help to those facing the problem at its advice centre, but it's hard to keep up with demand.
We have had to make more use of bed and breakfast in the recent months than we have had for a while, and we're trying to address that, working with partners in the private sector now to try and get access to more private rented accommodation.
Those who support the homeless are warning that the problem will only get worse when changes to the benefit system come into effect next year. They say that already stretched services will be under even greater pressure. Judith Moritz, BBC North West Tonight, Ashton-under-Lyne.